Editing a video which I'm going to be uploading shortly to my YouTube channel Targeted World. These are two videos. Well, one's an audio segment, and then that's followed by a video log of a targeting which occurred a short while ago while I was in the bathroom reading a book. So I've just inserted this caption here, and I was targeted to the heart as I inserted the caption. So it's basically I'm just giving an explanation because in the audio of the video I mentioned that I met my girlfriend, but I then corrected myself about using the caption and explaining that I'm referring to my then girlfriend or girlfriend at that stage of my life. I was instantly targeted to the heart as soon as I started, as I typed my then girlfriend, instantly targeted to the heart. 4:04 PM, been response targeted many times, well several times since getting out of bed, whilst the first instance was upon waking up early this morning about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I've just uploaded a video explaining what happened in that circumstance. And then also I was targeted as I was reading a book when I first got out of bed around a couple of hours ago now, in the bathroom. And then since then I then started editing it. Well, what I did, I transferred those files from my mobile phone to the desktop, instantly put them on Movie Maker to edit them, and then I've uploaded them since onto my channel Targeted World. So that's the video I just uploaded. It's just a few minutes ago it finally was uploaded. That was a video I uploaded yesterday. Day previous to that, response targeting. So you can see there hasn't been many uploads recently, but as soon as I started uploading these videos, these ones which were about a day ago, 22 hours ago and 3 minutes ago, the targeting's been frequent and quite potent at times. Okay, and I do understand that watching someone run up and down stairs isn't the most exciting YouTube experience ever. But please understand that I'm doing this more for myself, and I'm basically documenting the fact that I'm doing this and exercising and working up heart rate, and I'm getting a visual log of that, and just I feel like the best place to put that is then on my YouTube channel. So I don't really mind that it doesn't get any views. I mean, I can understand perfectly well that nobody would really want to watch that. If you do watch it, if you do decide to watch it and watch all the way through, then great, there's no harm in that. But please understand that it's more for my sake than any viewers. But it's available to view. I mean, I can always make it private, but you know, I'm quite happy to have people come along and just have a check in occasionally on what I'm doing to keep myself fit, and I occasionally do that kind of thing, run up and down the stairs. But you might have seen when I was running down the stairs that there was some jogging shoes which I'd actually originally bought for playing tennis, but I don't think I'll be doing that any longer. We had a couple of games. So what I'm going to be doing is, rather than making plans to do like frequent set jogging sessions, I'm just going to kind of like do random jogs, which I've not done for a long time, just around the local area when it's quiet, during quieter hours. So that's in the planning at the moment. So I'll just make some use of that footwear that's not really been used since I last played tennis. Hopefully I can shed some weight and also demonstrate that all is fine with my heart, which I've already demonstrated countless times, and I've documented. I've still got a lot of uploads to sort out, videos to edit, various cycles, long distance cycles, etc. I've got the Big Peak District video, the Malham Cove from recent years and this year, tennis early this year, and all these jogging up and down the stairs videos, which I think quite useful and quite important. So it just shows that I am keeping on top of my fitness and showing that when I work up my heart rate, all is fine, and that conflicts and completely contrasts with everything that I'm tending to log every single day on my emails. So already 16 attacks there to the heart since between 2 and 4 o'clock. 16. I've been targeted quite well, more than quite frequently since I started editing. I've not been up long today. Started editing around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so there's a targeting for today. I'm also going to explain a little bit about the targeting as well, the nature of the targeting. But between 2 and 4 o'clock, when I started editing, pretty much straight away as soon as I got onto the PC, after getting out of bed, showered and dressed, having something to eat, targeted 16 times to the heart. Between 4 and 7, just 4 minutes off 7 o'clock PM now. 3 hours, been targeted 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 times to the heart in a 3 hour spell. 3 hours between 4 and 7, targeted 40 times. Between 2 and 4, just 2 hours, targeted 16 times. Been targeted 2 times as I do this commentary, so that's 2 more tallies for that. 42 times between 4 and 7 o'clock. Bear in mind that I've only just started editing again yesterday, or a couple of days ago, after a few weeks of kind of not much editing at all. So I took a break from the editing and just focused on my research for a few weeks, and I've just recently, the last couple of days, started editing videos from my evidence file. So my evidence file is on my external hard drive, which is where I'm taking the extracting the videos from. That's what I've got remaining now. So these are the more lengthier videos because I've been working from the least duration in terms of length. So we're at the 20-minute stage, and I've got one more video to edit right now. The one that's highlighted there, I've just edited. And I've just got one more video to take up to the 20-minute mark, and then I'll resume with that tomorrow, and I'll just work the 20 to 23 minutes, 25 minutes videos, and then after that I'll do the 30-minute videos, and then I'll finish off with those lengthier videos there. Not sure what they are. So that's how I'm doing it. I'm basically just doing it in increments. So today I'm just working one more video after this, but I've worked several videos. These are all those videos here, apart from the last two, which are more to do with my research and hiking videos. But I've edited 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos already. I'm on the 11th at the moment currently, and then I've got one more to edit there, so there'll be 12 videos in total. I've actually uploaded just the 2 to my channel. So I've uploaded these 2 videos here, no views. This one was 2 hours ago, the next one was 1 hour ago. So now, just to mention about the targeting. These attacks that I'm experiencing now, I have to say, ever since I had the health check, they've changed. The nature of the targeting has changed, and they've become more potent attacks. And I'm pretty convinced, as I've already mentioned in some videos I've recorded and uploaded to my channel on Targeted World, I'm convinced that I'm convinced that there's some foul play going on in the health check, and I suspected that might be the case when I first got the call early in 2023, when they were trying to get me to come into the health check that same day. It's as if they were desperate to get me to the health centre to do a health check on me, as though it was desperate. And I was kind of curious about that, and I said no, so I kind of like declined on that and said no, I'm fine. If I feel a need to book in a health check, I'll book myself in for one. Now targeting was going on at that point, because I'd already started the Targeted World channel just like a month or 2 before, and it was like a month or so before I contacted my cousin, and then he died obviously within a week of me contacting him. So that when they first contacted me, my cousin was alive and well. I declined on that. I declined on the invitation to get me into the health centre that same day when they called me. I don't know what the great rush was, but they seemed desperate to get me in that day, and I was experiencing targeting. So the targeting was just normal targeting to my heart. There was more like kind of like prickly attacks to my heart. So they were like just the same as they are with beat pulse. They're just sudden, rapid, single pulse attacks, but they were more prickly attacks. Now, what happened when I had the health check? I was experiencing something very different, and the attacks became very different in nature, and they become like almost like beat skip. They were kind of like making my heart skip a beat, and that's what all these attacks here today have been, beat skip attacks to my heart. But they're all responsive, so there's no question as to whether it's natural or not. It's certainly not natural. All of these are blatant responsive, and in between those 2 sets of tallies, I've done a run up and down the stairs, and I'm going to do another one in a second. And that was before any of these 42 attacks occurred. I'd already done 7 runs up and down the stairs, so I'm going to do another set of runs in a short while once I finish this video. So yeah, back to the targeting. The attacks have become more potent in nature, and they're horrible kind of beat skip attacks. So it's like, yeah, I can do a 12-hour hike in the Peak District and experience nothing. Yet I can be sat here. How many times have I ever said this? I can be sat here in front of the computer, and I'm experiencing 42 attacks in 3 hours, and before that 16 attacks in 2 hours, a total of 58 attacks in just 5 hours, which is over 10 per hour. 10 attacks per hour to the heart. Who experiences 10 attacks to the heart per hour, besides people who are having pulmonary issues? I mean, seriously. I'm 50 years old. Like I just mentioned, I did the 12-hour hike. I experienced nothing. We're walking around for 12 hours. Well, not 12 hours, but about 8 hours walking around and hiking and exploring caves, and nothing. Got home quite fatigued. Similar to all the cycles I did last year, and the hikes and the walks I actually did and filmed and documented, and yet there were no targeting. Nothing experienced in terms of targeting, but fatigue, yes, as you'd expect. Got home, felt fatigued, got back onto the computer, and suddenly I'm getting targeted again.
after a 12-hour cycle. But during the 12-hour cycle, 12 hours on the saddle, cycling all the length of the canal along from my house to all the way to Yorkshire, into West Yorkshire, I experienced nothing through the night and into the morning. So, in other words, I set off at midnight the previous day. I set off at midnight and arrived back home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon the following day. And I experienced nothing, literally nothing, in terms of targeting. And then in August I have the health check, and ever since then I've documented the health check. I recorded the health check. I took a audio record of the health check while I was in the actual appointment. So I've got an audio recording of it. I've uploaded that to my channel. And before that, the attacks were just normal attacks. But now, after heavy periods of targeting, now I get a horrible ache around my left chest, which affects the flank of the chest and all around that area. And the attacks are just very different in nature ever since I had the health check, and that's why I should have known better. I should have known they killed my cousin last year. Why, don't go into that place. And I was told over the phone there'd be no blood samples taken, there'd be no injections or anything like that, no needles. And I should have watched the nurse like a hawk, and I took my eye off the ball. She was kind of almost like diverting my attention by suddenly like becoming very chatty while she was taking the injection, doing the injections. And I should have been watching her like a hawk. What I should have done is said, no, I don't want a needle in my arm. I don't want the needle in my arm. I'm not going to have the injection. You can do the blood pressure tests on the wrist with the strap that they put on your arm to measure your pulse rate. And they did that. But even that in itself was like dug into my bone. 3 times she did it. 3 times over into my arm, dug into my arm. So I documented that, I recorded it. She also got my height reading wrong by 2 inches, which just seems ridiculous for a nurse, qualified nurse. I've been targeted several times as I do this commentary to the heart as well. But yeah, I now get weird. Ever since I had that health check, just a couple of weeks after that, I started getting these weird different attacks. Experiencing different attacks. They were different in nature. They were more potent. And they were just almost exclusively beat skip attacks, as opposed to the normal prickly attacks that I would get in response as blatant responsive. Now they were blatant responsive, but they were these more potent kind of beat skip attacks, which makes my heart skip a beat in a pulse. So I suspect there was some foul play going on in that health check, and that's why I took that's why I did an audio record in the first place, because I was already suspicious as to why they phoned me earlier in the year while my cousin was alive and well, and they wanted to get me in that same day. As though it was some desperate thing they needed to do. So I shouldn't really have gone in for a health check. I shouldn't have had the health check. I was fine. I was experiencing all the targeting. Yes, the targeting at times was potent, but the nature of the targeting altered. And I've been experiencing different attacks ever since I had that health check. From about a week or 2 after the health check, I started experiencing some different type of targeting, as though it had opened up a different opportunity for them to target me in a different way. And I believe that the needle, there was something that I believed that I was injected with something. So there was me thinking I was having the blood extracted from my arm, and that was the case. But like I said, it only involves a slight bit of trickery where they can just inject something before they inject something when they insert the needle into your arm, and you think it's just, you don't know what's inside there. If you're not looking at the needle, my attention was diverted away. She was chatting to me, and I was looking at the opposite way. I was looking away from the needle, as you would normally do. You don't tend to watch what's going on. You don't tend to watch the needle. So my head was turned away. So if she injected me in my arm with something, and then extracted the blood once she'd injected what she'd injected, God knows what they could have put, what she could have injected, what they could have had her inject into my arm. And I'm really, really suspicious because ever since that health check, I've been experiencing some different form of targeting. It's become more potent, more frequent, and yet I can, when I've been to the Peak District, etc., I experience nothing. So it's not natural. It's not anything to do with my heart. It's not natural in any respect. Because if it was, I would have experienced problems in the Peak District. And we climbed up a huge hill. We went for a long, arduous walk. We explored a few caves during the day. We were doing that for 8 hours, and I experienced nothing. And trust me, that terrain, that landscape, you know, if you had any issues that this kind of thing might suggest you have, when you look at this, 42 attacks in 3 hours, 16 attacks in 2 hours, 58 attacks in 5 hours total. If you're looking at that, then you surely would expect that when you're out hiking for 8 hours during the day, and walking around for 8 hours, and walking up big hills, and getting fatigued at the end of the day because of that, that you would expect something close to this, except there was nothing. So that something's happened. I'm absolutely convinced that something went on in that health check. Absolutely convinced. And that nurse seemed very shifty, very shifty. She was very chatty, very friendly, for the most part, but towards the end I started asking questions and she started getting a bit shifty and bit kind of like a tone kind of changed a little bit, and that's evident in the recording. She seemed to be a bit irritated the fact that I was asking questions, and that maybe because I'd actually caught her out taking the wrong reading of my height, which seems ridiculous that you would get it wrong by 2 inches. You know, half an inch, fair enough, but for a qualified nurse to get your height reading wrong by 2 inches, there's something off with that. Seriously, something seriously off with that. Yeah, but anyway, my point is, ever since I had that health check, I've been experiencing these weird, different nature of the targeted, more potent, more frequent, and it's very different in nature. It's almost exclusively beat skip attacks, whereas before it was prickly attacks and maybe the occasional beat skip attack. But now it's almost exclusively beat skip attacks, and it's, you know, the kind of discomfort it causes you think you'd have heart problems. I know I've not got heart problems, and I'm going to demonstrate I've not got heart problems because I'm going to run up and down the stairs again, and I won't be doing this if I had any such concerns. I feel absolutely fine. But then the targeting kicks in, I start editing, and then the targeting starts. 58 attacks from the moment I started the editing. 58 attacks in 5 hours that I've been editing. Only started when I started editing. Pretty much from the moment I started editing. Got the first video uploaded onto Movie Maker, and then all hell broke loose again. I don't know how anybody could possibly suggest that is natural, because it damn well isn't. So over the last few weeks, I've been watching some videos from this channel, Admiral's Corner. I initially thought it was called Admiral Scorner, and I thought it might have been a former admiral or something. But it turns out this is when I first subscribed to his channel, because there's no space. I thought it read Admiral Scorner, and I thought it was a bit of a strange name. So for quite a long period I thought that was his name, Admiral Scorner, and that he was a former admiral or something, or had some kind of career in the maritime industry, maybe the Navy or something. But it turns out he actually named his channel after the street where he lives, which is called Admiral's Corner. But anyway, this guy was born in 1939. Over the last three or four weeks, I've been watching videos where he's different vacations he took, and the first one was Scotland. I can't remember. The second one was Jersey. So the first one was like 30 odd videos of Scotland, and then another 20 or so of Jersey, and then these are from holidays for like a few years ago they took. But he was born in 1939, which makes him 85 years old currently. So when he was filming these videos from his holidays, I mean, I'll just look at the Scotland one. Ten years ago he was 75 years old, and his more recent one, so the Scotland videos were filmed when he was 75 years old. The Jersey ones were 7 years ago, and then the ones that I was watching up until yesterday, I'd finished watching them, there were 20 odd videos, was they took a holiday on the island of Madeira, which is part of the Portuguese territory. And that was 7 years ago also. So, you know, it's between 75 78 years old, all these holidays that he took. And on the Madeira one, he was walking up hills with his wife, big hills, big steep hills, inclines, and you know, he's 80 at that stage. He's 78 years old, and he didn't seem to be having any problems getting up those hills at 78 years old. Now I'm 50 years old. I'm a lot fitter than this guy. I'm a lot younger than this guy. 30 years is junior, and yet, you know, you'd think I was an old man. All these tallies that I'm making on a daily basis. I'm 50 years old. You know, how more obvious could you make it that there's something very foul going on, some foul play going on, when someone's cousin dies at age 50, having only just contacted him on Facebook. A week after he contacted him on Facebook, he dies. And just so happens he was coming into some inheritance money, 25,000, 30,000 pounds inheritance money. Had his heart set on buying a 911 Porsche very soon, but was still waiting for the inheritance money. And then he dies. And then suddenly I start getting targeted on the year of my 50th birthday. This is the same year when I'm going to be 50, in December of that year. He dies in April, in early May. Just around the May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. I mean, seriously. Okay, so it's my birthday later in the year, in December. I'm 49 when he dies. And then they start targeting me. The moment he dies, they started targeting me while we were having the conversation. And from the moment, like I always say, the moment he sent that message about the heart attacks, that he was having heart attacks, I never knew nothing about any of the heart attacks that he'd had, because I've not spoken to him for 3 years. So hence, 3 years before that, he was absolutely fine. And then something happened in that interim period, and they seemed to go to work on him. They were trying to kill him with the heart attack weapon, and yet I knew nothing. I didn't know anything that any of this was going on. I just thought he was getting on with his life. He was in a relationship at that point, and something happened, and he was kicked out of his house, and he contracted multiple sclerosis or something. as a result of the stress caused by the stress, and then he started having the heart attacks. But it's exactly what happened to me. I got kicked out of the house. I got kicked out of the house, and suddenly my life became shitty and difficult to deal with. And you know, that's when I started experiencing all the targeting and all the harassment and vehicular harassment. And this was several years ago, though. This is well before when he died. But you know, how weird it is that he should get kicked out of his house the same way I got kicked out of my house. I don't know what the whole idea was behind that. But his mother kicked him out of the house, and then he got stress. He suffered from stress and trauma from the being having to live in his car for God knows how long. And then he had 3 heart attacks, which I knew nothing about. And then he sends me that message, says, "Oh well, I've had 4 heart attacks." I think it was 4 heart attacks. The 5th heart attack was what killed him while he was in hospital. A week after I contacted him, he got taken ill in hospital, and he never came out because I'm pretty sure they killed him with a heart attack weapon and finished him off. And this was just one day after I actually sent him a message while I still believed he was alive on Facebook, which he never replied to, obviously, because he was in hospital. And I was actually saying to him, "I want to find out more details about your heart attacks and the dates. I'd like to find out more details on the dates and more details about your inheritance exactly, and how long you've been waiting for it. How long have you been waiting for this inheritance money?" That's what I wanted to find out of him. The next day, he died. He was dead after I sent that message. So suddenly then, for the rest of the year, and even to this day, the targeting increased dramatically. And now it's just when I'm editing. So if I take a break, like for 3 weeks, I took a break, and there was very little targeting, and then I resumed with the editing a few days ago, and suddenly all the targeting started again, extreme targeting, and it just continued even throughout the day, even when I wasn't editing. So I sat down and watched to watch YouTube videos, and I'm still getting response targeted to the audio, etc. While I'm not editing, just because I've been editing that same day. So that's what's going on right now. So what I'm saying is, every time I start resuming with the editing, the targeting increases. So, you know, please don't even suggest all that's natural. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory that it's external, and that it's being done through surveillance. I'm being targeted. They're watching what I'm doing, and when I start doing my editing, what they don't want me to be doing is uploading my videos and showing these bastards up for the murdered bastards that they really are, with all my evidence. And I'm not putting nothing out yet. I haven't put nothing out yet. So that's what they don't want me to do, is upload those videos. So that's what's going on right now. So, but I've done 2 separate runs up and down the stairs, no problems. I'll sit back down, start editing again, and then all this starts happening. You know, I'm almost logging attacks all by the minute. Almost every couple of minutes, I'm just logging attacks to the heart as I do my editing. Anyway, I need to crack on with the editing and just get that last video finished off, and then I don't know if I'm going to be uploading any more videos, but I've already uploaded 2 today. And I'll continue with the editing. I've still got more videos to edit yet. From the evidence folder, and then need to switch attention to the cycling folder, which basically documents my fitness and shows my fitness, me doing cycles all through last year. From the moment I received that phone call to try and get me into the health centre in March, a month before my cousin was killed. The point that I'm trying to make about the guy whose channel I just showed you, Admiral's Corner, who's age 85, is that you know, even though as well as being 30 years his junior, you know, I don't have any heart issues. You know, I didn't grow up with any heart issues. I had an active lifestyle, playing football every day, and never experienced any heart issues. Never had any heart issues. Never had to consult a doctor about any heart issues. I had a perfectly good heart. I still have a perfectly good heart, as I've demonstrated with all the videos. I've got to edit most of them, and then I'm going to upload them. So that demonstrates that I'm fine. I don't have any heart issues. I've stayed clear of drugs, alcohol, and other stuff, and cigarettes, for the most part. I only had a few periods in my life where I've had drink, but you know, like we're talking days, a couple of days in a row, nothing prolonged like months and years, and it's not a prolonged drinking problem. It's just like I've just turned to drink on some occasions in my life when I've got down a little bit and felt low spirited. So I turned to drink and thought that was the answer. It never is. So I learnt my lesson with that. But that's early on in my life. So I don't really touch drink now. I have a little tipple at Christmas. And that's about it. And throughout most of the year, I stay away from drink. But yeah, certainly hardly ever touched. I've never touched drugs, and I've hardly ever had any cigarettes. I experimented a few years ago. I had a few of the artificial cigarette type things. I can't remember what they're called. Vape cigarettes, and didn't enjoy them too much. So I quickly got rid of that habit and didn't enjoy it. So that's about it. That's the extent of my smoking in my entire life. But yeah, stayed clear of drink, cigarettes, alcohol for most of my life. Had an active lifestyle. Used to play football every day, and if I wasn't playing football, I'd be playing tennis. If I wasn't playing tennis, I'd be doing something active, and I'd be outdoors. I had a very outdoorsy lifestyle, and it was only when I had to come back in for tea or to go to bed, that was the only time I was housebound. But now I have a more kind of like sedentary lifestyle. But I do try to get out when I can, I've demonstrated perfectly well. I've just been targeted to the heart, as I said that. I mean, it's pretty bloody obvious it was going to happen, but it's not entirely sedentary is what I'm trying to say. I have a more sedentary lifestyle because I'm not out playing football every minute of the day, because your life changes when you're an adult. But that doesn't mean to say I'm not fit. I've just demonstrated, I've been targeted as I say this, but I've already demonstrated 2 times today. I've run up the stairs about 15 times up and down in 2 separate spells, and nothing's happened. And I'm just like I say, I'm going to edit all the cycling videos that I did on 2023 from which post-dated the day when there was actually almost summoned in to go in for a health check in March before my cousin died. And I'm just going to edit those videos and put them up onto the channel. They were originally going to be put on a channel I'd created just for hiking and bike and cycling, but that wasn't very successful. So I'm just going to stick everything on targeted world because it still serves as evidence, and it's still associated and connected to the targeting. So just need to edit them videos. I've still got a lot of that are edited and still need to be uploaded. A lot of them need to just transferred from all the ones that I'd actually uploaded to the hiking channel, which I deleted now, need to now be re-uploaded to the targeted world channel. So just need to do that. But yeah, just been targeted as soon as I mentioned I've got a sedentary lifestyle. I mean, could it be any more predictable? Seriously. Alright, just got a bet on here at the moment. It's just a single bet. Stake £9 on a single game. Just 1 goal to be scored for either team. There was a penalty just been awarded to the awaiting BFK Fridland, so it just basically said penalty there for about a minute or so. So I just had my eyes on the screen and I thought, if this penalty is missed, I'm going to be targeted to the heart, because that's what usually happens. So I'll win £16.50 if I win the bet. I'll lose £9 if I lose. It's not, I'm not losing millions here. It's not like. Anyway, I sort of thought to myself, said, if the penalty's missed, I'm going to be targeted to the heart. Anyway, it came up after a while. Penalty missed. Instantly it was targeted to the heart within a fraction of a second. If that's not blatant surveillance stroke targeting, then I don't know what is. I'm being targeted. I'm not having palpitations because they've missed the penalty. I've been in that situation many times before, and they'll probably win the bet anyway. So that's my thinking is, okay, the penalty's been missed. There's still 5 games of normal time plus stoppage time to be played. I'll still probably win the bet. There'll probably be a goal scored in the remaining 5 minutes, and I'll win the bet. So what? The penalty's missed. I expected the penalty could be missed. It's 50-50, isn't it, from penalty spot? And yet I thought, instantly, as soon as the penalty was missed, I was targeted to the heart, and I've just been thinking, I'd be targeted to that if the penalty's missed. Just predictable shit. This is just a measure of how desperate they've now become. you know, I'm obviously getting to them. I've struck a raw nerve, and I'm getting to them. They don't like the evidence that I'm going to be putting out. It's as simple as that. And the evidence is coming out, and there's going to be lots of it yet to come. I've put nothing out yet, and that's why I get followed around by ambulances and police cars and etc. And you know, helicopters flying over the house after minutes after I edit a helicopter video and then put it and upload it to YouTube, my YouTube channel, just like minutes after a helicopter flies over the house. I've not heard a helicopter for years, and that's the only helicopter I've heard fly over the house, and it just so happens to be minutes after I upload that video of a helicopter, of showing helicopter harassment in this as I'm cycling along the canal late at night, and I think it was 1 week where I experienced three different instances of helicopters suddenly appearing in the sky, like between 12 and 2 o'clock in the morning, just hovering about and hovering over where my cousin, the area where my cousin used to live, where he grew up, basically hovering near my mother's house, and then just hovering near a place of work that I'd only mentioned on another video, just like the evening before. It was hovering over that same place, that same industrial estate, and that same company where I worked, just hovering over the industrial estate just the day after I'd actually gave reference to the place where I used to work, where I'd experienced a helicopter flying very low above the building on my first night of work. And then the next day I go cycling, and when I'm returning home from my mother's along the canal late at night, I only see a helicopter hovering over that same location which I just mentioned the night before. I've just been targeted to the heart as I edit this video, which I filmed earlier today. I'm actually just editing a cluster of videos, and I'm going to just include them all as one video package. So I've just been targeted to let me check the right volume. Hopefully that's not too loud. I'll reduce the volume so it don't become tinny. I'm currently talking about my plans to start going jogging, making some use of the trainers that I bought just for playing tennis, but I'm not playing tennis any longer, so at the moment. So I'm just saying that I'm making plans to go jogging, and hopefully shed some weight. That footwear that's not really been used since I last played tennis. Hopefully I can shed some weight, and also demonstrate that all is fine with my heart. Right, as soon as I said I demonstrate that all is fine with my heart, I was instantly targeted to the heart. And it's close to 8 PM on the 17th of May 2024. Alright, just a little update on the target today. Again, it's been diabolical ever since I started editing. From the moment I started editing, 2 o'clock till 8 PM, currently 8 PM now, so 6 hours. I've been targeted 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 times since in 1 hour, in the last hour. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 42 times between 4 o'clock and 7 PM. And before that, targeted 16 times between 2 and 4 PM. So I started editing at 2 o'clock. So that makes a total of 16 plus 42, 58, 78, 81 times. Targeted 81 times in 6 hours to the heart. Every single case, every single instance of beat skip attack.